Who wants to tell the three people watching what happened last time on Waterdeep Dragon Heist?
The most important thing that happened was Feist made a new friend, and they are adjusting their armor. Everything else doesn't matter.
Uh,
Oh, and they got schematics from Tegan's new library.
Teagan's new
Bookshop
library.
thing.
Yep. The tiny golden book that Rashal left in Tegan's hand just before your epic battle with Claire turned out to be basically ownership of the bookworm's treasure. And with it, some interesting benefits for a wizard.
We all got shocked because Tegan inherited a bookstore, a magical bookstore. Portia told Avi and Embrick that Doug had died and they're on their way up to the mountain. And when they went to go leave, Leaf was kind of just told that Rashal was dead. And he just kind of started drinking heavily and telling stories about him and Rashal when they were younger. And there was something else I don't remember.
You mean when Portia unceremoniously told a 500-year-old being his best friend since college is dead in a arbitrarily way?
That was Feist. No, don't blame
that
Portia.
wasn't me.
That was Feist. Feist thought he was an enemy, didn't know he was a friend, just said he was dead.
No, it wasn't.
Was
it
me?
was Portia. Yes.
Oh.
Go back in the videos, girls.
I haven't watched
It was
video
Portia.
Today.
He's like, what about Rashal? And Portia's like, he's gone. And then Feist was like, he sorta kinda timey-wimeyed himself. Not so exact words, but thereabouts.
Either way, fucked it up.
I guess we did.
You know what? It was a team effort.
Oh, my characters fuck all sorts of shit up.
The very being that used to haunt this place now has some new kind of body contraption thing. Yeah, he's dead. That's fine. There's definitely no repercussions from that. But some of you went to Mount Waterdeep to show Avi and Embrick where Doug with a U is buried so they can pay their respects. You rented a wagon, and Embrick kind of got a little excited over Leviathan. And just a quick glance was already able to see ways to improve it. With the log travel ahead of you, plenty of time to tinker. And then, Adnon and Teagan stayed behind to just sit with Leaf. As Leaf brought out the good shit. The stuff he hides typically from Teagan. And just consumed and consumed and consumed. Until he was at such a point he started blabbing about the different adventures he and Rashal went on back in the day. So picking up tonight's game. As those of you heading off towards Mount Waterdeep In the wagon, traveling for again 6 to 7 hours by wagon to where Doug is buried. Along the way, some minor conversation is had, as it's kind of a somber trip going there. You make your way to the very familiar Y, where to the right is the direction heading into the mines, and to the left is where the waterfall is that falls into a pool, and then on either side of that pool are pink and purple hibiscus flowers, which are guarded, funny enough, by mud elementals, or something thereof. Some sort of creature made out of mud. Or maybe a creature that just uses mud as some sort of protective armor. And a tree nearby is where Doug was buried, facing the waterfall and the beautiful flowers. It is probably, by the time you all got there, it is maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night, as you all left fairly late in the evening. Time is yours.
I kind of tell Silas to let Avi and Embrick kind of take the lead at first. Let them do what they want to do before you start the ceremony. And I
Oh.
kind of show them where he was buried and kind of let them have say their goodbyes.
Of course.
Okay.
Feist will stand off to the side and kind of try and be respectful, but out of the way, since this isn't, her space to be in.
All right. Imbrick, in his strange lumberjack attire, jumps down off the wagon first and holds his hand out for Avi, who is again in that long light blue dress, and Imbrick helps Avi down off of the wagon. Imbrick is carrying some sort of side satchel where it appears like the space inside is much bigger than what the bag itself should be able to hold. As Portia, you lead them over to the fresh mound of dirt that is there. The only marker being the tree, the mound of dirt, leading them over to them, and then stepping back, letting them have their time. They have their own kind of ritual about this. Each of them a little different. You can see that Imbrick pulls out a couple of odd sections, bits of metal. It doesn't make sense what this is. Just different sets of metal. They look polished, they look smooth, they look shaped, but separate as they are, they don't make any sense. Avi pulls out from a small side pouch. Actually, Avi is the type, he would have a side purse. So, out of his purse that obviously matches his outfit, he's got a small, it looks like a silk cloth. And he opens it up and he pulls out something that you all don't see, and he sprinkles this over the mound itself. And little drops of something just land in the dirt. And you watch as Avi's natural element, water, that you're all by, as the waterfall cascades down to this pool before the pool itself separates into a small stream. Avi just gestures towards the waterfall, and you can see the waterfall start to bend and move to his will. And just, not the entire waterfall, just a small stream of it arcs its way over and then kind of mists over this dirt mound. Not like a torrent of water, just he's very much controlling and focusing how much water actually comes down. And as this mound is watered, the little things that he dropped into the mound, you can see tiny little green leaves start to sprout out. And they grow, and they grow, and they twist, and they weave, until the mound itself is no longer just a dirt mound. It's a mound full of life, of green and purples and pinks and blues. Different flora erupt from these, now that you can probably guess, seeds that were planted. In the center of this life that is blooming is this large purple flower that seems to grow up and twist and then bloom. And the inside is pure black with little bits of silver sticking out. So the undersides of the flower are purple, the inside is black with a little bit of silver that sticks out. Embrick puts these different sections of metal together in front, at the head of the mound, closer to the tree. You can see one section's kind of bladed, like a tip, and he just shoves that in. Another section slides into place. Another section slides into place. Another one comes down on top before the final hilt. And now you can see it looks like he made a tombstone of half of a sword. It is, instead of being a long cylindrical sword, it's about 2.5 feet wide and about 3 feet tall that sticks out of this dirt. And actually, does anybody speak Primordial? No? Then all that you see is the tip of his finger gliding over some runes on this blade. And they flash with a red-orange light. And from your distance away, it looks as though these symbols, these runes, are ever burning. Always molten glowing, on this blade. And they take a step back. A marker and a grave blanket provided for Doug.
After a couple minutes of just respecting what they've done, I go up to Avi and I ask him. I said, "Are you Silas is here, wanting to perform a ceremony? Are you guys okay with that?"
He looks down he looks down to you, not down at you, down to you, and would have wanted that?
I don't honestly know, but I thought the gesture was nice.
And then Avi looks to you, Silas, and he says, "What kind of ceremony are you performing?"
As with all such ceremonies, it is small and discreet. A few words for my lady and for the one who has become her devotee.
Your lady?
Yes.
There are many ladies. Which one do you serve?
She is oft known as the Raven Queen.
Avi just kind of laughs and goes, he needs guidance in any shape or form he can get, so the Queen's favor will help. He'll get lost otherwise.
A wayward soul. And with that, Silas lumbers over towards the grave and kneels and produces a small bowl and a block of incense and cuts a piece of the incense off and lights it. Takes a gold coin out and puts it into the bowl as the incense is burning. And goes, "Whether you were in life, you are now a devotee. May your path to Our Lady be easy, and her arms take you gently and surely." And he stays, knelt, as the incense burns completely out. And when it is done, he takes the coin and he places it on the funeral bed.
Okay.
This ritual, Feist is watching very intently.
Silas, give me a religion check. Religion roll for me, please. As you're staring kind of through the incense burning into the flower blanket that's there, it's odd. You can see from this black flower that has bloomed, you see a young man in black studded leather armor who is just dancing, just just a little bit, just ever so lightly. There doesn't seem to be anyone around him. It's just this very little, like a twirl around, and oddly clumsy, as though the person doesn't really know how to dance, but they have a natural dexterity to them that even the most awkward of things, they can make flow into something beautiful. And as you're staring at this incense, through the incense to this flower, the rest of you see this image from the flower as well. But the little bit that's different for you, Silas, is out of the corner of your eye, a large black feather, just ever so gently, lands right where you placed that coin, and both just fade into the blanket itself.
"I think my lady will take care of him." And Silas packs the bowl up and the incense and rises back up to his feet, which is something of a process.
Is the trunk involved? Does he get a little tripod
Like,
push from the trunk?
Well, the trunk is burnt, so you may want to be careful.
I forgot about this snoot boop that went wrong.
He didn't consent before Snoop Boop. I've got that written down still. That's going to be a t-shirt soon. That's happening. The night is clear. Stars are amazing. Gentle sound of water falling in the distance.
Shall we stay here this evening? We could find a place to camp.
Does anything dangerous come out of the mines? You know this area a lot better, Portia.
It shouldn't come out of the mines anymore.
What about these mud things you were talking about?
As long as you don't pick the flowers.
That would have been good to know earlier.
Did you pick a flower?
No, but it could have happened.
I mean, it's a long trek back home, so if everybody's okay with just kind of camping out for tonight. I am.
Let us rest this night next to your friend.
Avi and Embrick, is that okay? Or did you want to head back?
Avi just nods.
Okay. And just to have something to do, because everything's been hectic for so long, and now there's like this big stretch of nothing. I start making camp.
Okay.
Silas is definitely going to help. I start to go and try and forage for firewood and build a fire.
Do you make a mention of what you're doing, or you just go off on your own?
I would probably say something like, yeah, I shall take care of building a fire from wood.
When you say that, Embrick just looks at you and goes, just lights his hand and goes, "Fire's taken care of. Don't worry about it."
Hmm. A useful skill to have.
Works pretty good for smelting ore too.
Hey, Portia, does the moratorium on picking flowers, did that extend to rocks?
I'm sorry. Did you just say rocks?
Rocks, yeah.
I honestly don't know, but let's not test it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I don't
Waterfalls.
know.
Waterfalls are great places to find hagstones.
Good to know. We can maybe come another day and get you one when we're more. But I really don't want to fight right now.
I don't want to fight mud elementals in their waterfall. I'll find a different waterfall.
That's a good plan.
What is a hagstone?
I don't.
It's a rock, and then water dripping over time has caused a hole. So it's a rock with a hole. They're lucky. Teacher says they're lucky. He has a lot of them. Didn't stop the bad men from coming, so we maybe need more.
Sound
That
logic.
would be a good thing to find.
I thought so too, but not mud elementals.
Camp is easy enough to set up between you all. The driver goes into the wagon and pulls out a couple of different posts and just takes the wagon cover and ties them up around the posts to make a significantly large tent in comparison to your typical travel tents. Comfortable enough for just the few of you to be in. On part of purchasing the wagon is there were, and you all did stop to get some basic provisions. So between Embrick's fire and Avi's really good cooking from nothing, meal is warm and wholesome. And towards the end of the evening, Embrick pulls out a small, very small metal flask. And when he undoes the lid, or undoes the top is just about right for a shot, unless you're Teagan. Pours one, drinks, pours one, and just starts passing it around. A little toast to the dearly departed.
This is a regular person-sized shot?
Yes, it's not a shot for you.
That's okay.
It's
Silas-
like a lick for you.
It's like a
Yeah. Uh-huh.
thimble.
Yeah.
Definitely, Silas definitely imbibes. Solemnly, of course.
It's small cup sized for Feist.
Correct. Silas, you would be familiar with similar customs of different peoples. So, definitely nothing that would be shunned on your side of things. Night is yours. It's relatively uneventful. You are still in the wilderness, so the wagoner says that he'll take first watch, just to keep things in the up and up, and then you figure out watches there and after, and the evening is uneventful, other than a peaceful night and a time to say farewell to a friend, a dancer, and somebody who got his nuts hit by heads too many times.
I'll take a second watch.
Okay,
Just as a
you're gonna take two.
I'll take one also. I can see in the dark, so I'll take a deep night watch.
Okay, so you can be Feist. You can be second watch, and then Silas the kind of early morning watch. Next morning, you pack up and make your way back to Waterdeep after a night. A little bit of peace was had, just to sleep under the stars uneventfully. And still, that same figure is, if you stare at that black flower long enough, you see someone dancing. On their trek back to Waterdeep, it's a very nice day. So when the wagoner takes the tent down and puts the poles back inside, he does put attach the drape back to the center, but then he rolls up the sides and they strap in that center beam to let a nice breeze through. And then Embrick pulls out a couple of things from his side bag. One of which is a pair of spectacles that has different lenses that look like they have different colorations to them and different magnifications. And then a couple of different tinkering tools and his blacksmith stuff. And he puts these spectacles on, but he has the visor for it up. And he looks over at you, Feist, and goes, "So, we got about 6 or so hours. How about I take a peek at Leviathan?"
It's time.
I imagine I'm watching this, I'm intrigued because I've never really gotten to see him work. So, but as I'm watching this, I imagine I'm kind of like sitting right next to Avi and just telling him everything that's happened up to this point, and my concerns about Adnon and what happened before we left, and everything over the last week. The change, the war pigs, the fighting for the souls, the Kaylin leaving, Arden leaving and leaving me she just finally just lets it, I just let it all
Word vomit. Just word vomit.
Yeah. On poor Avi. And not word vomit where I'm angry or trying to get my point across. It's more of just that I finally had a chance to breathe and word vomit. And I told Avi I'd fill him in. So while I'm watching them, I imagine I kind of just curl up in a friendly way, just up next to Ivy, and just start. Because I imagine that I'm closer to Avi than Embrick, and I just start
Everybody
talk.
is closer to Avi than Embrick.
And I just
Not
start
Feist.
except for
Not
Feist.
Feist.
and
Feist likes both, but Ember better. Yeah.
ever since Avi offered to rescue me from my other party members, he's I just go and just everything.
It is cathartic, releasing, soothing of the soul. Everything the council in the room wants you to experience whenever you are unloading like that, getting all that off your chest. Feel the weight just get smaller and smaller and smaller. Not that it ever goes away, but instead of the mountain, it's considerably less. And you cry, and he cries. It's very cathartic. Except for poor Feist over here, who's with Embrick. And Embrick is very much intrigued. And the conversation that you two have, he asks you how much control over the magic do you have, because he sees where there's a weakness here. Can you remove the magic just from here, or is it the whole thing? If it is the whole thing, does it all fall apart? So it's very much of maybe a level of experimentation with Leviathan you never really took, because you put it as the whole and then infused your magic into it. Your magic makes it to where it is Leviathan for you, but doesn't really get rid of 100% any of the dents that were in the pieces of armor before you put your infusion into it. Scratches and bad welds are still there. It still functions for you, but there's definitely a little bit of room for improvement. And between him asking and you attempting what he's asking, probably about 4 hours into this journey, you are drained of energy. If you could sweat, you would be sweating. You're very much panting. And, like different layers of normal padding that you would wear in order to be safe in Leviathan, you've already taken off. And just dirty, greasy. But as different pieces of Leviathan are removed, and Embrick kind of shows you where some improvements could be. You pick up a couple of tricks from him for blacksmithing and smithing tools. You gained a permanent +1 to any smithing tool check. And when he sees that there is the same problem in another area, he shows you how to fix it in one, and then has you fix the other. He doesn't just do it. He teaches you this is the proper way with different tools and things, and you pull out some of your tools and things, and he trades you better tools for your old tools, and just shows you different welds, different ways to make Leviathan just a step up. And by the end of the journey, by the time you are all coming back into Waterdeep, Leviathan is, well, still has the overall shape. It's less rugged and more smooth. Less, um, the points where there should be points are actual points instead of being dull, rounded tips. Just small little details that, as a whole, make a difference. If you just the one little detail, you'd be like, ah. But all these little details together, the armor Leviathan has another +1 AC. Non-magical, only physical.
Excellent. Excellent. We've done such good work. I
And
think you'd like to meet teacher.
you're starting to get ideas of Leviathan 2.0. Of maybe if you had better materials to make a better frame, something that is, you already know that for the flight, you're going to have a much stronger material than you currently have for that. And you can already see, just based off of the two of you collaborating on this, just doors just open about possibilities. So we'll see where that leads you. But the wagon arrives back in Waterdeep, is returned, and you all walk back to Troll Skull Alley, where Avi and Embrick say goodbye to you as you make your way over to Troll Skull Manor, and they continue on to their home. Adnon and Teagan, is there anything you two would like to accomplish in the 16 hours the party was gone, or the rest of the party was gone? Other than making sure Leaf doesn't die of alcohol poisoning for the night before, and then you have the the morning and most of the evening the day later. So, anything that you all would like to do?
I'm just gonna study up on my spells and stuff. Read my spell book for a change.
What?
I would have my on.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Oh, I I would have been listening to Leaf and taking note of all the things that he was saying about what him and Rashal have done and been through, um, and kind of just playing some somber ballads in the background as he was venting.
Okay.
The next day, I would have spent looking for new adventures. Check the job posting post,
Okay.
and also check in with the city officials, see if there was something cracking that I could get into.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and give me a investigation check. Huzzah, natural 20. Heyo. So when you get to the closest board as far as where job postings are put, some very basic stuff is listed. A lot of things that just don't really interest you. Um, One thing that catches your eye is that there's a concert for Kalen within a 10-day being held at the Coliseum. Um, there's still a flyer for Troll Skull Tavern being open, which is in 2 days now. And you see that the local watch is looking for people to look into some strange disappearances in the sewers near the docks.
I feel like I've already been on that mission. Um, does it list the contact for the local watch?
It does.
Okay.
As with most of these city officiated missions, they are all headed by the warden.
Gotcha. I will take the flyer for Kalen's concert
Okay.
and I will head to the warden to chat up, chat them up about the people disappearing.
All right. Um, Heading over towards. Well, there's two places. You could either go to the local garrison or you can go to City Hall. Which one would you like to go to?
City Hall.
Okay. So, going to City Hall and getting up to that front counter, asking about more information for this particular mission, you are told that there is currently 3 adventuring groups already investigating. So if you want to be the 4th, you definitely can. But that's what they know that isn't on the flyer is that something down there is eating people and just leaving clean bones.
Interesting. Has this been going on for a while?
Well, probably about a 10-day, about a week.
And how much does this job pay for? Well, let me ask you this. Do you want to get rid of the problem, or do you just want to know what the problem is?
It's 100 gold to know what the problem is, and 500 gold if the problem is resolved.
Gotcha. Any survivors of these attacks or disappearances?
No.
Okay. So 500 gold to get rid of the problem, 100 gold to tell you what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Good enough. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I'll mosey on back to the crib.
Okay. By the time you get back, with Teagan upstairs perusing his books, or even in the bar perusing his books, wherever Teagan would be. Teagan, where will you be perusing your books? Up or down? Can't hear you.
He said down.
I have nope. Nope. Did you set it to push
Yeah.
to talk and forget your button? Nothing.
Player 2 has left the game.
Did you mute yourself? Sometimes you push this to mute. I don't know what you're doing. Let's do this. Okay, never mind. Yeah, player 2 has left the game.
Yeah. I was
Wrecked.
going to suggest sign
Oh,
language, but
let's see. How about now?
I'm where
There you are.
the alcohol is.
So downstairs.
That's where I'll be
Perfect.
downstairs.
Perfect. Perfect.
apparently Tegan's just a frat boy.
Well, Tegan, you would notice this before Adnon does. Leaf is gone.
Where'd he go?
No idea.
Would I would have watched him leave, right?
You have to sleep just like everybody else.
Would I have noticed him not there in the morning?
He has. It's odd. So you would have noticed that it's odd that the tavern, like, nothing was there in the morning. But after the night that he had, it wouldn't be very odd for him to, like, sleep in now that he's got a body to sleep. So in the morning, you didn't really think anything of it. And it's Adon. It's when you're coming in and you just see Tegan at the bar with a couple of bottles just in front of him that you think it's odd because usually like Leaf is right there making sure how much Tegan gets at one time. And there's just none of that. And Tegan, it's not until like Adnon comes in that you're like looking at these bottles around you like, where the fuck is Leaf?
What do you mean, where's Leaf?
I thought he was with you.
No.
Oh,
Isn't he the one
You
that
know.
served you? Who's been watching you?
I've been granted to the past and I've got no supervision right now. So I've got a great idea. All those special bottles that Leaf pulled out from the bar. Help me find them. The little bastard's been holding out on us.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
That's a Tegan thing.
Yeah.
It's a Tegan.
Sometimes you hit like that bacon bourbon idea. Like sometimes you have some winners.
All right.
We're
So
gonna toss this place like a crack house.
so both of you give me separate investigation rolls.
Mine's gonna suck. So I wasted my natural 20 already.
Yep.
Huh,
Oh, Adnan with a total of dirty 20. Hot damn.
The
What's
power
Tegan
of
got?
the booth.
Oh, Tegan.
Oh,
Tegan's
So-
already too sauced. Too sauced.
I find the bottles and hide them better.
Oh, you fuck.
So, while Tegan's up in that main floor looking, you go down into the cellar, Adnan. And you go over to the section where Leaf had his distillery part. And you're like going through different drawers and different storage things. And you find one crate that when you open it, you notice that the bottom is only about halfway up, and you kind of take a step back, and the crate should be significantly deeper. And so you pull a couple of bottles out, and you can see very small on separate corners, tiny holes where you can just barely get like your pinky into and wiggle up this false bottom. And there you see in glass jars and a couple of clay ones, very, very, very clear liquid.
I mean, are they all full or some of them?
They are all full.
Is there any sort of bottle down there that is empty or not quite full?
Looking around, about the only thing that you do see that's not quite full is there's a pony keg.
Jesus. No,
As
no.
Leaf has already started stocking the cellar, stocking the bar, getting ready for the grand opening. You had your weird soft open where a whole bunch of people arrived, and Leaf was like, I'm not ready for all this, and so he went shopping hard.
Oh, what's the cheapest thing I see down there?
Cheap? What do you mean by cheap? What do you mean? What is it? I mean, it's a cold storage, so there's
Uh,
different meats, there's cheeses, there's actual milk,
I'm looking.
and then the alcohol section, which takes up majority of it.
I'm looking for the cheapest item that's in a container that'll hold liquor. That, like, bottle, like the cheapest, whatever the cheapest bottle is.
Okay. So you don't see anything that's going to hold all this clear liquid. There are a couple of like penny wines where you would charge maybe 3-4 copper per glass, and they may have cost you all maybe at most 5 copper for the bottle, and so you make it up by repeat
Scoreboard.
fills.
Taking one of those bad boys off the shelf.
Okay.
I'm going to uncork it.
Yep.
I'm going to take a swig, and I will pour the rest out. And I will take some of that high cost shit, and I will pour it in. I'll fill the bottle about half.
Okay.
I'm debating whether or not I want to leave a note for Leaf.
Well, you do note that as you pour that liquid out, as soon as it hits the stone floor, it freezes into this dark purple ice. And you can see on different sections of the wall where those runes are glowing very faintly. They just kind of pulse with kind of a light blue light.
No worries. I'll just put. I'll do what every toddler does. I'll just put some shit over it.
Move a crate
So-
over top of it. Perfect.
Yeah. I'll think about coming back and leaving a note for Leaf.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go running up to Teagan like I just struck gold, and I'll be like, Teagan, I found it. God damn it, that son of a bitch. He is smart. He's been hiding it in the cheap wine. And I'll take a swig and I'll leave it in front of Teagan. Like, it's the cheap wine.
Teagan, make an insight check. Because you want to ask. You want to ask, but you're not sure how to ask. Adnon, make a deception check.
Son of a bitch. Deception.
Yep.
Does it mean anything if it's got a check mark by it?
It already added your +7 to it. The check mark is that you have some sort of proficiency with it. So, Teagan, what you get for what he said is...
Hold on. I'm gonna pick up the flask, the little bottle he set down, and I'm gonna smell it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna cock an eyebrow and I'm gonna look at Adnon. And I'm gonna smell it again. And I know my alcohol, Adnon. I know what good stuff and what bad stuff smells like.
Are you saying you don't want to drink it? Because I will keep the bottle.
No, I think it's best if I just hang on to it for you.
Maybe we could share it. Just mental note, if you're looking for the good shit.
You said the good shit was in the cheap wine. I don't...
He did
Something
bring up a
doesn't
bottle
feel
to
right
you
with
of cheap wine.
Yeah, you can smell the cheap wine in there. I think he's been putting it into the cheap wine, like the used bottles. I don't know. He's a smart son of a bitch. You heard him last night.
Ah, I, Adnan,
I worry those books are setting you in reverse. You might have hit your limit for the day.
well, I have no limits for the day. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. How about you take me down to show me? Show me where he's hiding it.
He only had one bottle.
Mans, I know that's a lie.
Well, go down there and
This
look.
this man, he feeds me alcohol. He has to have more than one bottle. He knows
Yeah,
this.
we drank most of it last night. Remember? That's what he was doing.
I don't
He
remember
did.
last night.
As a
He shared
note,
a.
the table that you all were sitting at is still covered in bottles.
Oh, I would have just pointed at him then.
Leaf's typical cleanliness has left the bottles there.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hold on to this bottle, and then we're gonna ask him when we find him. But that's what we should be doing right now. We should be finding out where the hell that man went off to. Because you never know, he's gonna get in trouble, and if he gets himself in trouble, then who's going to be making and serving us the alcohol?
Well, I would nominate you as the resident expert.
You want me
Charles
to
Skullbanner
serve
just closed.
you
Closed forever.
alcohol?
Bankrupt.
Yes. If someone's going to come up and ask for a drink, you'll know exactly what they're talking about.
You know,
Shit.
I think you might be onto something. I'm gonna let you be the one to explain that to the rest of the group, though. Okay? Because everyone seems to think I'm just a drunken lush.
Well, not Rashal. Maybe he's onto something. I don't know. Fuck it. I mean, what's the worst you could do? It's not like this place hasn't been blown to smithereens before.
Ah, I remember that.
Yeah. Listen, there's been a lot of bad mistakes made. Like, you really got to try to top them. Like, you haven't tried to kill your friend. You haven't blown valuable shit up. Um,
Valuable people. I haven't blown anyone up yet.
yeah, you didn't just like in casual conversation be like, "Oh, by the way, your best friend's dead." So like, there's a lot of shit you would really have to try to fuck up to outshine these things.
Choo
But
choo 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 choo.
but I do agree with you. We should probably find him. But
We should find him.
where do you look for a ghost? Like a former
Well,
ghost.
I-
Like a
I-
once ghost, but not a ghost. Check the cemetery?
Maybe, just maybe, he went to the other pub down the way, the man that had the bacon bourbon. Remember him? Maybe he went down there to to convince that man on the ingredients to make that bacon bourbon.
So you're sounds to me like you're making excuses to go bar hopping.
That's never an excuse when you have a friend that's lost. If I'm ever going to get lost, where do you think I'm going to go?
Well, up until yesterday, I would have said the tavern down the street. But
Right.
now all of a sudden, you're some sort of aristocrat that has a invested interest in a bookstore and you're reading books on your days off. Like, and the book doesn't really have pictures in it either.
Not, there are some pictures. They're small pictures, though. They're multicolored, though. You wouldn't understand. It's way beyond you. Anyways, I can multitask, Adnan. I can read a book and I can drink at the same time. And how do you know I'm not reading a book teaching me how to read a book while drinking?
That's a strong argument you just brought up. I don't know. I guess You know, we should see if there's maybe a little bacon bourbon in stock, anyways, to see if we could get a bottle or two for the tavern.
Now you're onto something. Now you're onto something. All right, now, if we happen to run into the rest of the group, we need to have them go look on the other side of town for Leaf. Okay. Look, they're just
Okay.
gonna talk me out of it. Okay. They're gonna be like, you can't go to the bar. You can't go to that pub. And well, I mean, I think I'm onto something here.
Yeah, but
And
I
you
don't.
saw the doorways at that pub. Do you think the big man's gonna fit inside that pub? Oh, wait a minute. Remember the big man that was in the pub that tried to beat us up because we wouldn't leave? We have our own big man now. Oh shit! I need a
No,
drink.
no. Remember, he's not. He's like one of those like huggers instead of a fighter
No, no,
kind
no,
of
no, no,
thing.
no, 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 no. You're forgetting something.
That's a
He
big
was given to
hug.
us. He was given to us to protect us. Remember? To
Oh
protect
yeah,
us.
that's right.
See?
We own
So
him.
if we get into trouble, he's
Uh,
there to protect us. And he's that trunk thing.
Yeah.
That big nose of his. It just whap smacks someone right in the ass.
You know,
Let's
that
go
just
find the
made me
big man.
think of something. We need to have a mark that people know that he belongs to us. Like we have to show ownership of him.
Pink feathers.
Pink feathers?
Pink feathers.
Yeah, we could tell him that that's a
It could
symbol of
be
the
our
wayward
pink feathered
souls.
snuffleupagus.
Yeah. Like like it's a sign that you're not into violence. You put pink feathers in your
Right.
you
Right.
hold it in
Right.
a trunk or
Okay.
something.
Absolutely. Picking up what I'm putting down. There we are,
Yeah,
man.
or
Okay.
you know
Let's go
what?
find the big man.
Pink paint on whatever little stubby nails he's got.
Ooh. Now that's a good idea.
All right. Pink
Okay.
paint after leaf. We could probably get leaf in on the pink paint or the feathers or whatever.
Maybe we should just do this, just you and I. That
Well,
that way
yeah.
the group doesn't think that I'm a complete fuck. Be drunk fuck. I mean, what if we did this on our own and we
Oh,
brought it to the group? We're like, look what we did.
I found this thing about the sewers, and there's people that are disappearing down there and turning into bones. We could tell them
If
about
we
the
painted,
sewers.
and if we painted the big guy pink, we could see him better in the sewers.
That's a lot of paint.
That is a lot of paint.
Plus, we'll hear him. I don't know if we can get him in the sewer.
Only if it's
We'll
pink
fi- we'll
dragon
figure-
pink.
We'll figure that out when we come to it. All right. First, big guy. Second, bar to find Leaf. Obviously, going to the bar to find Leaf. And as a side note, maybe we get some bacon bourbon. And this time we should drink all the bacon bourbon. Remember, Leaf wanted some of the bacon bourbon so that he could make our own bacon bourbon.
Yeah, and last time we drank the bacon bourbon, things got weird.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
That's the glorious thing about drinking. I just don't remember.
yeah. It's just you thought you had a pillow and it wasn't a pillow. We'll leave it at that.
Oh,
Yeah. That was old Teagan. That's okay. I understand.
but this is new Teagan. This is bookworm drunk Teagan.
Yeah.
But I'm not
It's-
drunk. It's an act.
You have just enough knowledge to scare the shit out of me.
Sorry.
All right, big guy it is. Let's go find a big guy.
Off we go.
He can't be that hard to find. He's a giant thing.
Wait,
So-
we're looking for Silas or we're looking for...
But say
Leaf.
you would know that Silas is with Portia,
Yes.
Feist, Avi, and Embrick, and they are on a 14 to 20-hour round trip to Mount Waterdeep. So they
Would I
will
know
be
that,
back
or would I
sometime
have
to.
been drinking heavily and not knowing that?
You
Adnon would remind you of that.
you were told. Portia did say that they are going. And Teagan would remember how long and boring of a fucking walk that was, so... Hard maybe? Hard maybe. Adnon, yes. Teagan, he was drinking.
Okay, well let's go find the bar. I mean, let's go find Leaf at the bar.
All right.
Okay, so you are going to leave Troll Skull Tavern.
Adnan would pause on the front and say, Teagan, put your big brain to work and think of where the key is.
Oh, I got nothing.
Careful, careful. You turned a lot of. There was red coming. I didn't know. I thought maybe fireball, but then I realized you're not really good at that, so I wasn't too scared, but I was a little bit. We got to find a way to lock this up, though. There's a lot of stuff in
Who
there,
has the
and
key?
I do
Wait,
believe we gave it to
I-
Leaf,
No, I
right?
remember we were trying to give it to Leaf, but he tried to give it back. He gave it back to who did he give it to?
It's
Was
not
it
in
the
my
arsonist?
pocket.
Did he give it back to the one who blew the place up, the arsonist one? What's her name?
The
She was real
arsonist.
small. Now she's not so quite as small, but she's still kind of small.
Oh, yeah, changed colors. Like,
Yes.
Portia. That's Portia. You would have been
Portia.
better by saying the one who tried to kill us. Well, no, then you get her confused with Kaylin. Kaylin was trying to kill
Oh,
me, so I got you.
jeez.
Yeah. mhm.
Okay, all right. Well,
So
that one. Does
do
she
we
have the key?
like? I don't know. She's not with us. Doesn't do like. What are we going to do? Just leave this place wide open and put free liquor around there? How are you going to emotionally handle that?
Hang on a minute. Wait a second. Wait.
Oh, yeah, maybe your book says something about. Remember when Leaf put that magical bubble over it? Can you do a magical lock?
That's a solid maybe. I don't know.
Well,
And to be honest with you, I don't even think I have that spell. Oh wait, did I? I think I do have lock. Where is Tegan's wondrous spell? Is a fuck right off. All right. So I have three options. First option: we stay here and we guard Leaf's stash, and maybe he comes back. And if he doesn't come back, the other should be back. I mean, sometime.
okay.
Right?
We'll call
Option
that
two.
Plan
That's
B.
option. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
option two. Option two.
Oh, we're doing numbers, not letters. Okay.
Wait, option A. A1. All right. Option A1 was that. Option A. A2. A2.
Mhm.
Okay.
Should be B. Should be B though. Option B.
All right. Option B1. Okay. So
Okay.
option.
That would be the tavern. Just go to the tavern, leave the Wayward Souls open for business. Free liquor.
Right. We don't want to do that. So option B1's a shit option. All right. So let's just flush B1. All right. We're gonna go.
Okay.
We're flushing on number one. All right.
No.
Flushing
Number
on
one
number
is
one.
staying at the tavern, right?
So is it number
Damn it,
two that
Tegan.
you flush on?
You got to write this shit down. It's so difficult.
Fuck.
Okay. Circle back. Stay at the tavern and do nothing. Sounds very good to me.
What if we stay at the tavern and drink?
That doesn't. I know you think better under a couple of drinks. Okay. Maybe that is the best route because you do think better. And we could play. Remember that knife game we played? We could play that knife game. And that might.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, let's do that. All right, so I'll tell you what. Here, I'm gonna head on to this. Why don't you run back down the cellar and get a few more bottles of of Leaf's secret sauce? That way we're guarding it.
Check.
We're making sure it's not there. All right, go ahead. You do that. I'm gonna stay right here, and I'll clean up this table a wee bit.
Gotcha.
All right, cool, good, great, grand, sweet.
So, Adnan, do you go back down into the cellar?
I sure do.
Teagan, what are you doing? Because I cannot believe you're cleaning a table.
I'm waiting to see if he brings up more bottles of that because he told me that he brought up the last bottle of the secret sauce.
Okay. So you're actually, just picking up a couple of the empties and setting them on the bar to look like you've done something? Is that what's going on here?
Yes.
All right. Adnan, what are you doing in the cellar?
I'm going down and I'm grabbing another bottle of the cheap shit.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm going to bring it up. And I'm going to bring it up full. And I'm going to hand it to Teagan.
Of just the cheap wine, right?
Correct.
You're not fixing it?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Teagan, Adnan brings up the same bottle of wine. It's the same, the wine might cost the bar, again, 5, maybe 6 coppers. And, you guys are charging by the glass for it. But he brings up this bottle and he sets it down in front of you. What do you do?
Okay. Well, I've got a bottle already.
Yeah.
So I'll keep the bottle that I already have. And I'll take the bottle that he just gave me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look at Adnon. Adnon, you didn't bring any up for you. And I'm going to pander right on off to that table.
You have 1.5 bottles.
We've established you can count now. Okay. But I also have 2 hands. So one bottle, half a bottle.
Oh, I got you. I'll drink some of this mead. And then when you get down to the good stuff, you let me know. And then we'll share it.
Fair enough. Shit.
So, the two of you pass the rest of your evening drinking at the Troll Skull Tavern.
Drinking and playing the knife game.
We should find a name for that knife game.
What are you going to call the knife game? Because now I'm interested.
I don't know. I'm just going to float the idea to Teagan, and we'll think about it as we drink.
It'll come to us. The more we drink, it'll come to us. Most things come to me when I'm half drunk anyways.
Got it. You're not there. 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 There's you. And you. At the old bar, or at the old table. How come... Okay. Where is... Did I break this? Let's see. I did. How about that?
It's so tiny.
Now, 2 of you should be able to see, yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I can see it. Sort of.
Can you move yourself?
Fuck, I can't see. It's like I'm looking at it from outer space. I can't find the zoom button.
I use middle mouse roll.
Whoa. I did a critical error there. Yeah. Here I am.
Okay. Let's see here. What can we use as the group token? Come on. Open.
Do you have a donkey?
Probably. Let's see. You want a donkey?
Donkey.
It doesn't have a picture. It just says wooden donkey. How about, do I have a picture of a horse? I do have a picture of a horse. And we'll give this. So, everybody. Let's see. Vision. You can see everything. Update. Huzzah!
I still can't see a damn thing.
Control Alt Delete.
Oh. Teagan, you can't see. Oh, you can't see. Why? Okay. Nope, it's fine.
I also
fix it.
can't see.
Do. Let's see. Let's do that.
All right, I can see now.
There. That's just your guys' home, so. There you go. Uh-oh. Lost an Adnon. Figure permissions. Everybody's the owner of the riding horse. There. So now this is just a group token in case there's ever a map that only a couple of you are in again. I will find an elephant one so you can talk about the elephant in the room in the future.
Racist?
You want me to find the cleric one so you can talk about the cleric in the room so I can be classist?
Can you make sure it's a pink elephant?
I can, of course. Yes, I got you. So how long does Adnon and Teagan partake of Leaf's secret stash?
Till we hit the cheap shit, I imagine.
So, Teagan, are you going through the half bottle first before you open up the full bottle, or how is this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Why would I open 2 bottles?
Sure. Sure.
Because you have two hands, my friend.
So, when you take a drink of the full bottle, in comparison to what you were drinking, this is basically poop.
I'm sorry. So, I finished the half bottle. Shite. And now I took a drink of the full bottle.
Yes.
And it tastes like arse.
In comparison to what you were just drinking, yes. Had you not been drinking the half bottle first, drinking this, you would have been like, it's okay. But now that you have something to judge it against, this is basically just vinegar, trash, and urine.
I'm going to hand that bottle off to Adnon. And Like, oh, this is good shit. Here, you drink this one.
All to myself?
All to yourself. It's all right. I gotta slow down.
Sweet.
Do you drink it, Adnon?
Yeah, I'll drink it. I know what I'm in store for, so I'll just put on my best, like, I love this shit face.
Okay. It there's no difference from the bottle you took a swig of in the basement and dumped. And compared to this, it's the same brand, it's the same year. And again, in comparison to the clear stuff you poured into the other bottle, this is just terrible. Probably good for disinfecting wounds is about as far as it goes. And even then, it's kind of iffy.
Yeah. It's like an IPA. It'll grow on me.
Or something will.
Or grow in ya.
Are you saying I might get magical abilities out of this?
So as the evening goes on, I need you both to make Constitution saving throws.
With advantage, because we do this shit all the time?
Sadly, no, because
In all fairness, mine should always be an advantage when I'm drinking. I'm always drinking.
not today.
What do you know?
As late afternoon hits,
What? Fuck, I didn't know it was that early.
late afternoon is that early. Cracking me up. You're starting to get the hot bellies feel where you've been drinking all day and you've put no actual food. And so, like, the bile just sits there bubbling with their other stomachy acids and the terrible piss water wine. And you're like, ugh. Yep, a little bit of upset stomach. Nothing a greasy burger wouldn't fix. Speaking of, where is Arden? Oh, well, that's right, he's gone.
You know, Adnon, I'm gonna make us something to eat.
It's a good idea. My belly's telling me that if I don't put something in there other than wine, I'm gonna have the screaming shits in a minute.
Rum chowder. All right.
It's gonna sound like an empty ketchup bottle.
Where's the meat
You're gonna have to hit it a couple of times.
God, I can only hope.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna look around and try to find something that I can put together for food wise.
Going
I'm gonna stumble
going
around.
back, yeah, going back into the kitchen area. Leaf does keep an assortment of quick things up top here. So you do see loaf of breads. You do see off to one corner some a bit of ham that is just sitting out, and a couple heads of lettuce. You could potentially make yourself a sandwich.
All right. So I'm gonna take the ham. I'm gonna take my dagger out, and I'm gonna chop up the ham. But
Okay.
I'm fucking sauced when I'm doing this. So what I take is thin slices. It's like 1/2 inch slices of ham,
Sure, sure.
and I'm gonna put it on top of 2 pieces of bread.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And then I'm gonna take the lettuce head, and I'm gonna cut the lettuce head in half and smash that on top of the ham.
Of course, yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make 2 sandwiches like this, alright?
Okay.
And then I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna set them on a table. Not the table in front of Adnon. not the table in front of me. I'm gonna set him on the table, and I'm like cross-eyed, 3 sheets to the wind kind of
Yeah.
shit right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say, Adnon, today we have a hot ham and sandwich, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt on those 2 sandwiches.
Okay. So, as you stand back a little bit, roll me the first firebolt with disadvantage because you're cross-eyed as you shoot at the sandwich.
Let me.
Control is disadvantage, by the way. Whenever you click firebolt. And remember, click the picture for firebolt, not the words.
I'm clicking the picture. It says must target a token before rolling.
Fuck that bullshit. I'm gonna fix that right now.
You need to make a ham sandwich token.
Yes. I clearly, right now, need to make a ham sandwich token.
Now remember, I've got the Warcaster and the Sculpt Spells thing, so I'm gonna keep the fire to the ham sandwich with the lettuce on top.
Just because you're a warcaster doesn't mean you maintain a spell like it's flamethrower. You still have to pull the energy together and release it. Okay, try it again. Disadvantage. Beautiful. So you... Look at that, no target. You've got like a weird outline. That's cool. You release your firebolt. It hits the sandwich. Well, that's a little singed.
Whoa, big guy. Let's not blow this up again.
I've got this. See?
I don't really think this is a good idea. Just want to go on record. Say this is a bad idea.
You
Look,
know,
do you want yours hot or not?
No, cold. Take it cold. Right out of the ice box. I'll eat that shit like it. Nope, cold.
All right. Well, then your cold hog ass on right is sitting right there on that plate. I'm taking the warm one that I just lit up.
you know, just cross your mind, Teagan, that Fireball would really warm this up.
I'm not that sauce though.
Oh, okay. After a couple of times of your fire bolting your sandwich, you have a hot ham and lettuce sandwich. Really big. You're not not sure how you're gonna eat that, but you figure it out. You're drunk enough. It's at this point that Portia, Feist, and Silas, you finally all walk into... No, you don't walk into the bar, but you walk into the bar.
To
Huzzah.
Teagan throwing firebolt.
To this sandwich like this big that Teagan's like...
I imagine he just peers around the side of the sandwich like, hey guys.
Oh, hello, you're back. Do you want a sandwich?
Oh, that looks like a nice sandwich.
Take it cold.
Oh,
Take it cold.
Do you want it hot or do you want it cold?
Cold.
What is
Cold,
going?
I suppose. Cold?
Good choice.
I don't think hot lettuce is good anyway, so
No,
cold,
that-
please.
Crazy bastard just cast a fucking spell in here to warm it up. Don't take anything hot from him.
I would not say no to a hot sandwich.
Oh, god damn it.
Silas, as you're looking over at them, you do see in one table scorch marks.
Are hot sandwiches dangerous?
My specialty, absolutely they
How
are.
about I do it? I'll do it.
Oh my God,
Oh,
we're
no,
gonna
you've
meet.
been on the road all day, lass.
I'll go
Have a
cook.
seat right here.
Son
I'm
of
gonna
a-
try
It's
and
okay.
stand up and stumble and fall out in a chair.
I get up and run to the kitchen to make this a hot sandwich.
Wait,
Silas,
why are
tell him cold.
why-
Tell him cold. We're gonna meet the lady today. If you don't tell him cold,
I'll do it. I'll make you. I can work this stuff, maybe.
wait, why are you working it? Where's Leaf?
Oh,
That's
he's
the
gone.
question. What? What?
Where?
Oh, I don't know. He left. He's not here.
Teagan
go.
drank his good liquor and he left.
And you didn't go
I
looking?
did. I may have done such a thing, but he didn't leave because of that. He was
We-
gone before we talked into his good liquor.
We were gonna go look for him, but then we remembered that we don't have a key to the tavern. And last time we left the tavern unlocked, there was some shit taken. So we decided it would be best to sit here and wait for you guys to come back. But then again, you were gone for so long, we got hungry, and we did a little sampling, and we had to eat. And now you're here.
So, I imagine I come back with the 3 sandwiches cold. I'm not even gonna try.
So when you
Can-
get into the kitchen, it's destroyed. The ham that was cut sideways to where like there was one big chunk and then up towards the side was a very thin chunk sliced off. The obvious butcher knife sitting right next to the ham, not used. A dagger's left there. The loaf of bread, half of it is gone, as what he thought he was cutting as 2 thin pieces were large pieces. And there's 1 head of lettuce left.
I do the best I can and make 3 sandwiches
Okay.
and clean up as I go.
All right. You're sober. Easy enough.
And then when I come back out, I look at him and say, "You guys said Leaf was gone. Have you searched the rooms upstairs, or have you guys been down here all day?"
Oh, look at Teagan.
Okay.
Brilliance. Brilliance.
I will be right back, and I take my sandwich and eat it as I start to run through the different floors looking for Leaf.
All right. Give me a perception or investigation check. Your choice.
I will help with her. I will go to the floors that she is not, so we'll meet in the middle.
Okay. You two. Perception or investigation roll. Your choice. As both would apply here.
Investigation, please.
I can't pull up my sheet, but you said investigation or what?
What do you mean you can't pull up your sheet?
Never mind.
okay.
Investigation or perception?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Either or. Your choice. So,
It was the same either way.
Feist with Leviathan is faster than Portia, so Feist goes all the way up while Portia searches that first floor, and you two meet on the second floor. Well, the second of the upstairs floors, I should say, not the second. Never mind. Neither of you find Leaf.
Is the construct able to leave the premises?
He is. I wonder though, like he seemed. I wonder if he would have gone to the magic shop. There's got to be somewhere that he said maybe he's gone somewhere to grieve. Let's go ask the guys if he mentioned anything about Rishaw and their past or anything like that. He seemed pretty
Yeah.
upset when we left.
You know him better than me. I didn't think a construct would have any other place to go other than wander, but
He used to not be able to leave, but now he can. It's all has happened very quickly and very complicated. I can barely keep it straight myself.
where would a construct go that couldn't leave for a long time, but now can?
I have no idea.
Would he go to the place where his friend was?
Well, I think so. Maybe he would have gone to the magic shop. I don't know. That's why I said let's go see if we can't get a straight answer out of the guys in the bar.
I know. I'll be ready to leave when you are.
Okay. And I head back downstairs to ask the guys if they think he would have gone to Magic Shop.
You know, Adnon and I, we had a great idea. We thought maybe he went to the other pub down the way to
He
try to find the
did.
bacon bourbon.
Kind of like
'Cause
that one
do you
time you
remember
were.
he wanted to find the bacon bourbon. He wanted a sample of it so he could make the bacon bourbon.
Oh, really?
But we decided it was best, if that's where he went, that we were going to stay here. And I'm going to just start poking my sandwich.
Okay.
And shit, Adnan, what was I saying?
You were saying he's probably down at the other tavern with the bacon bourbon, but we couldn't lock the shop up, so we had to wait for you to come back.
So,
Right, yes, we had to wait for you to come back.
why did you have to wait for me to come back?
So you could babysit the tavern.
Why would I babysit the
Don't
tavern?
blow it up this time.
Because we got to go down to the bacon bourbon guy.
So we're supposed to be looking for Leaf. So is this kind of like that one time where we were supposed to go get outfits for the opera, and you guys were supposed to go to the bars and get information about getting liquor in here, and you guys spent all day at that one bar, at the Pig's Flagon, drinking bacon burger and making friends with Henry instead of looking up contacts? Is that kind of like
No,
that?
absolutely not. Nothing like that at all.
Leviathan's faceplate, the head is just squeak, squeak as it starts shaking.
Would he have gone to the magic shop?
Hang on. Quick note. Leviathan doesn't squeak anymore.
Oh, fancy.
Silas's snoot is all up in that sandwich, though.
Apparently, Silas didn't learn his lesson.
No lesson learned. Hopefully it was a cold sandwich.
Your
You know-
snoot is still a little tender. So
How about we do
you
this?
do a
okay?
couple of boops,
Alright.
but
Adnon and me and the big Snuffleupagus here, we'll go to the other bar. Because if he's with us, he's all holy and mighty. He won't let us get in any trouble, right? See? You see where I'm at now? Okay, now, you and that thing, the clanking, trash can thing,
Excuse me?
you guys go to the magic shop, right? And see if he's there.
I will prevent you, of course, from meeting my lady before you are ready, but I will not prevent your stupidity taking effect.
Well, I mean, lad, those are one and the same here. I mean, you joined the wrong crew if that's the case, okay? So now, anyways, look, you just need to go with us and stand there, okay? Look mean, not so mean that you skip. No, well, I mean, be your fluffy self, okay?
He's not fluffy.
Shh, he doesn't
What-
know that.
What Teagan means to say is this guy, he's not a believer in the lady.
Oh yes, this guy doesn't believe in the lady. He doesn't believe in the lady or the man.
All are devotees eventually, regardless of their thought in life. But
Well-
if you need me to come with you and stand, of course, I will.
Yes. This might be one of those deals where you have to, what do you call it? Like a holy war? Like you jam the religion down them when they're not willing?
Look, when we
I
get
have-
there, okay, when we get there, I want you to knock on the door, and when they answer, I want you to say, "Do you have time to speak about, me lady and her holy presence?" And you distract him, and Adnan and I will slip in, we'll slip in.
Why
Like
do you
something
need to
that
slip
slips.
into a pub? You're
Are you
going
guys-
to a public pub.
Are you guys going to the Pig Flagon?
That was the thought.
That's why they need to
Yes,
slip in.
right.
I don't know what that is. So.
It's a bar that
It's-
we got kicked out of because we pissed him off for taking too long to figure out how we were going to pay.
No.
So why don't you just look in the window? Why do you have to go in?
God, there's a lot of logic going around this room right
Jesus Christ. Okay, so let me throw some logic back at you. Okay, I can't drink a whiskey through the window, no.
You don't need any more
Do
whiskey.
you need any more?
There's whiskey here. Drink it home. We have food here.
I don't even know you right now.
You don't really know me in general.
I don't need any more whiskeys. Ch-
Out of the house. There's food in the house.
Leaf could be there. He could be in trouble.
At the tavern that has
the
bourbon
tavern.
whiskey or bacon
Exactly.
bourbon.
Well,
Bacon
I mean,
whiskey,
we got
whatever.
in trouble last time we went.
Through all this back and forth banter, would I, from his ramblings last night, that's what I would be thinking about. Would there have been a clue in there about where he might have gone?
Um, give me a history roll as you're trying to remember. You did partake in some of the drink too, so it'll just be a straight roll.
That's under skills, right? Yes.
As you are trying to think about your what he talked about last night, you're going through different stories. Um, a couple of stories come to mind. The biggest one that really that struck a chord with you is when Leaf talks about him, Rashal, and a couple of others um, fighting off a red dragon. Story about some kind of fighting off an ooze that was earlier on. Different stories here and there, but nothing in regards to where he could possibly be now. He didn't go. There's the stories that he told weren't stories of places, but more of events that happened.
Okay.
You okay with me checking out the magic shop, Tegan?
Oh, absolutely, of course. Just don't blow it up.
Will the kobold let us in without you? Do we have any form of clearance to
I
do
would
any of that?
assume they did. I mean, I did tell them that you and my friends last time we were there, right? I did say that,
Okay,
didn't I?
I think you did. Yeah.
I'm maybe.
So if are we all leaving? If so, I need to lock up.
What?
You do have the key.
You were
Maybe
right!
Aha! Teagan 1. Not so smart people 0.
Son of a gun!
maybe we should make duplicates.
I don't know if we can, because you'll see in a minute when I lock the place up.
Okay.
But Feist is. Uh, maybe she should look at the key before we used it. Wasn't it cracked last time?
I thought so too, but I looked at it and it's no longer cracked. And I hold it up, but I don't let go of it. See?
It's no longer cracked.
Feist, do you think that key will be okay?
May I see it?
I hand it to Feist.
I will carefully look it over to see if there's any damage or breakage and get an idea of what it looks like.
Okay. So the handle of the key looks like a troll's skull. It's just a very small, miniaturized version thereof. With it has the tusks coming up. It's kind of elongated instead of the typical large, short, fat head. This one's a little bit more elongated to give you more of something to hold on to. And then the shaft of the key comes out until it hits the actual points of the key itself. And give me an investigation roll. You can see that along the shaft and into the key blades, there is some kind of very, very, very small scrolling on it. And you're not sure it's very, very, very small. You're closing one eye and pulling it close and looking at it. Hard to see what it says. Um, but it seems to be solid and in one piece.
Fancy key. Seems to be intact. And she will hand it back to Portia.
Sounds good. Let's roll.
Now, when I stand, should I act or be bigger? At this bar.
I'm starting to think that maybe that's not a good idea. I feel like Tegan's used up his good ideas for the day. We've sort of hit a roadblock here lately, and I'm a little concerned.
Okay, so off to the bookstore then.
Right, you
Yep.
go to the bookstore, say hello to the little ones for me. Silas, pay no attention to Adnon. He's been drinking all day. He's a little. All right, you just stand there and look nice.
Do you remember the 3 kobolds that were kind of touch and go with the rest of us, and they were pretty chummy with you? Like, maybe they would give you information and they would tell us, you got, like, we're not the master, or whatever they were saying. Remember when you walked in, they were like, oh, hey, the great one's here, kind of deal?
Yes, the great one. Right.
So
You-
perhaps
Alright,
she
fine.
could go
But
back and be like, hey, checking on you
if I'm
guys.
going to be tower, all right, then somebody's got to go to the to the pub, to the place.
Yeah, that's plan B1.
I thought it was B2. We flushed B2.
No. That was the other one. This is a new one.
All right, so here's what's happened. Okay, I'll go to the tower thing, and I'll ask the little ones, and you and Flappy Ears here, you go to the bar, to the pub, to investigate if Leaf has been there, and if they have the bacon bourbon in stock. Okay. And if
Yeah.
you get in any trouble, you just got to come find us.
Us?
Us.
Who's us?
Well, me and whoever I may be with.
Who would you be with is my question.
I don't know yet.
Oh, good
I have
God.
a magnetic personality. I make
Yeah.
friends super easy.
I sort of feel like you might need a Overwatch.
I don't need a babysitter.
I wasn't going to say babysitter, but since you called it out,
You were thinking babysitter, though.
I was getting those vibes from Silas, so I just said what Silas was thinking.
I don't know if that is quite the word I would use, but perhaps Teagan could use some help.
All right, so I'll take the little one with me, okay?
The Feist? Or are you being you Silas? Who?
Portia,
What?
I'll take her with me to the tower.
Oh yeah, because you guys are like
That way,
oil
of
and
course,
water.
somebody who is smarts is going with me. Since apparently I don't have any good ideas except bacon bourbon.
You've got like 3 good ideas a day, and you're running on 4 right now. So like that.
Okay, he's pouting now. So let's start heading out.
I think we head to the store.
All right, store it is.
Can't we just do them all? Like, just all go to one and then all go to the other?
I thought that was the plan, starting with the store.
No. Teagan was like, let's split up.
I thought we were all going to the store.
To the store, I think.
Yeah. Once you guys get to know Teagan, you'll understand. He says a lot of things that he doesn't quite mean. You just shake your head and
You have to know how to
convince him.
speak Teagan.
Yeah. Mhm.
They're called Teaganisms for a reason. Okay,
Alright,
so
off we go.
everybody follow me, and I'm following you, Silas. Off we go.
To the tower.
Tavern.
The bookstore.
No, the bookstore.
Yeah, we said tower, not tavern.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Well, are we talking about the bookstore tower or like the
Yes.
Blackstaff tower with the mean hot lady?
Oh, I'm not going there.
No, but boy, I forgot about her.
No, no.
Man.
I don't
I
even
have
know who you're
no desire to go even piss on her rose bushes.
Oh,
Why would you piss on anyone's rose bushes, especially if
Well,
they don't
because
like
sometimes you know if you piss on the town guard, they get upset at you. So you piss on the rose bushes instead. It's a long story, okay? Let's go single file, 1 foot in front of the other, to the bookstore, tower, tavern, whatever the hell is in that direction.
to the bookstore, and let me
Okay.
tell you on the way about the funniest thing that we've ever seen. And I guess it's just me now at this point. When Tegan's around the lady from the Black Spire, am I gone? I died. No.
No, you're still here.
You're good to go.
I know this story too. I was there.
Were you there?
Yeah. It
Yes.
was Portia, not Panatari.
Okay. Okay, so Portia knows it just as well.
As we walk out, I turn around and I lock the tavern back up. Or I lock the tavern door.
Okay. When you lock the tavern door, a very familiar green aura erupts kind of from the door outward around the entire building, and it just pulses. And since you're so close, there is a kind of vibration to the air about it when it does pulse.
fancy key.
The key goes in my pocket and I go, alright, Adnon was telling the story about the Blackstaff as we head towards the bookstore.
I will tell them about all the awkwardness that unfolded there and how we should definitely make a trip back with Teagan.
Does this have to do with the rose bushes?
Yes.
Those are two completely different stories, I thought.
The pissing on the guard is a different story, but he wouldn't piss on her rose bushes.
Wait,
Oh.
so you peed on a guard and you peed on rose bushes of the hot lady. Was the guard the hot ladies also, or just the rose bushes?
So
Yes.
knowing Teagan, there's multiple rose bushes out there.
I don't understand why this would have been conceived as a good idea, but okay. Let's go talk to the hot lady.
No, we're going to the bookstore.
No, I meant at some point because Teagan needs to go pee on her bushes again.
No.
Yes.
I thought this
Yes,
was
he
frowned
does.
upon by most
You
humans.
are completely confused.
I'm very confused. Yes, I am. This
Me
kind of
too.
behavior is not acceptable in our clan. We do not
Hell,
pee in each
I'm
other's
confused, and
bushes.
I'm the one that's confusing.
You are all very confusing.
It's okay. You learn to love us as I tug on Silas to lift me up on his shoulder.
As soon as I notice this, I definitely pick you up and just place you right there.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, getting to the bookstore. Side in front says closed.
Teagan,
Just gonna walk up and open the door.
good idea.
The door is locked.
The fuck it is! I'm gonna take out that little book thing. The little necklace thing.
You look for the little book necklace thing, and it's not there.
Where the hell is it? I didn't take it off. Did I take it off, Adnan?
No?
See, and
Question
why are we
mark?
not in the bookstore?
But the door's locked. Duh.
Teagan, give me a history roll.
Da, 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 da,
With
da,
advantage,
da.
because this is kind of important to you. 21. Okay. It's as you're shuffling around looking for this that you remember that the small golden book turned into this giant heavy tome that you set on the desk inside the tower yesterday. It did not take back with you.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And
So, guys,
the
I may
hours
have
of the
locked my keys
bookstore,
inside the house.
you're in the evening when the store is closed.
Alright,
Oh,
so I'm gonna
fucking
knock on the door
Jesus.
really loud and say, "Hello, it's me. It's Tegan. I left my key inside."
This is just. This is bullshit.
You
I.
wait a
I.
couple of minutes, and there's no response.
Is there an open window?
Get
There
behind me,
are
group.
there are windows, but when you peer through them, it's just blackness. You can't see actually inside.
I'm gonna get that door down.
Well, okay, but so the likelihood of Leaf being here with the shop closed is pretty slim. So I don't think we need to bust down the door to pretty much know that he's probably not there.
No, 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 no! I want to see Adnan bust down this door.
Shit.
It's
After you,
your
my mans.
door.
I was gonna. I was gonna
He
cast a
isn't
wicked
gonna bust
spell.
down that door.
Oh, I was gonna cast a spell and get some attention, but she's right. She is so right. Man,
Damn it!
Hey Silas, I
I,
feel like we need some of that corn that you put on over heat and it pops up and it tastes really good with some lard.
Oh
What?
yeah.
I concur. And Silas is actually gonna like reach into his pack and pull out a little bit of jerky and hand it up.
I take it and just start munching.
It's got a little
you.
pocket
Right,
lint, but
well.
otherwise pretty good.
He's not here. Leaf obviously is not here. So
so we go
we go to
to the
what
tavern.
time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Is it dark out? Is it light out?
It is starting to get dark.
Tavern, I guess, right?
I don't think he's there.
But-
Y-
So,
I know
so-
that Adnon thought long and hard about, what Leaf was talking about the night before, but would I want to really let it mull over in my brains, to try and see if I couldn't remember any, him talking about anybody who may still be alive other than Rochelle.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a history roll. Nice. 22. You are just sauced enough to remember the things that were being talked about yesterday while you were sauced. Because it's the only way your memory works.
Right. It's
And
like oil in a fine lubricated machine.
you would know that of his adventuring friends and allies, Rashal and he were the only ones in some sort of life. The other friends passing away many, 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 many years ago. At some point, like Leaf and Rashal just stayed out of the families that grew from them, just stay out of their business because at some point, the history is forgotten with that relationship. And so there may be, descendants of his friends out there. Not that he knows anymore because he was stopped interacting with all that. Um, Rashal, being a wizard of time, was able to slow his aging and live longer than any dragonborn to anybody's knowledge. And otherwise, that was the last person. That was the first friend he had and the last one. And much like what Adnon remembers, nothing that he talked about were of places. It was just events.
Um, little bit of an idea. Silas, was there anybody at your temple that would do spells, that does spells for hire?
There may be one or two who would do such, but, and forgive me for asking, did we check the full tavern? The one that you own?
We did. He was not there.
Well, then, in that case, perhaps that is an option.
My thought was, it is, there are magics that you guys can do, right? That you can send messages to people no matter where they're at. Maybe if we can ask a cleric to send a message, see if he can talk to us and tell us where he's at.
That is a spell some can do. I cannot.
Well, you looked a little weak. That's why I've asked about contract.
There may be some who can offer that service.
Is that something you guys might want to consider?
I mean, I don't have any other ideas.
Well, look, let's look at it this way. He's a grown-ass man, right?
I thought he was a construct.
That too. But maybe he just needs some time to himself to process everything.
Or maybe he needs to know that he matters to somebody left on this planet, in this realm.
Where would we find him?
That's why I think maybe the sending spell might help us. He can respond back, and if he doesn't want to let us know where he's at, he won't tell us.
That strikes me as more likely than a random tavern.
It's not random.
It's worse than random.
Hmm.
It's an ill-advised tavern. But if you like, I have not been thrown out of it, so I can go check.
I have two thoughts, and I've been chock full of really bad ideas lately, so they're probably dead ends. But I did see this flyer for a concert with Kaylin.
What? And you're just messaging this now? Like, Kaylin's in town? Why didn't you say so? And I'm like screaming in Silas's ear. Kind of like.
Flap. Yes.
Why wasn't I told? I thought this stupid amulet thingy was supposed to tell me when they were near. Maybe not. Maybe I misunderstood
well.
Arden.
Might have something to do with us time. She's tried to kill him.
There is a lot of noise, but who is this?
And I just keep going, so excited that she's back in town.
Who's back in town?
Kaylin. Kaylin was a party member.
Oh.
Tried to kill me. Had an unusual affection towards Portia.
She was bad news.
All of that seems to make sense to me.
She was not. She felt bad for attacking Adnon after I was unconscious from a battle with the evil war pick, and then she left to pursue her dream of being a singer, and then Arden left with her because he was actually contracted to her and not us. And she's my best friend. I grew up with her. So she wasn't all bad.
Potato, potato.
Or I was talking to the city officials, and there's some people disappearing and turning up as skeletons in the sewer. So maybe something like that happened to him.
Are you? Does your construct have a skeleton?
Why would he be in the sewer?
Why would people go to the sewer? I don't know. But there's something down there turning them into just skeletons.
Do people often go to sewers here?
No. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, it probably depends on the person. Like, I would never see you going in the sewer, Silas, but Teagan, I wouldn't cross that off his list.
And he was pretty drunk, wasn't he?
He was very drunk.
So, are
As
we
you
gonna
guys
go?
are standing around the bookstore talking about this, a couple of guards are walking past and they go, "Bookstore's closed. Move along, please."
So we got the owner here. It's cool.
We will
He's
move
not
in
Rashal.
time. We will move along in time, I assure you.
Do you know how to find a missing person?
Put a flyer up.
That's ineffective.
Look at the
Damn.
places they would be.
Also ineffective.
Standing in front of
No.
the closed bookstore is.
More
No, hang
effective.
on. Every damn time we run across one of these town guardmans, they walk around with their ass on their shoulders and a chip off the
Oh.
block.
Oh, now
Okay.
I know how the
No, no.
peeing thing happened the last time. May I have some of the jerky, Silas?
My friend Teagan here is having a moment
I'm having a real bad day.
of day. We will move along.
Have a great night. Hope you
My
find your
lady-
friend.
My lady bless you, and maybe see you.
Hey, don't let the door hit you in the ass no way out.
That's the most passive aggressive I've seen him.
That was some shade there, Silas.
Did he
That
just
was nice
wish
to see.
death upon them? Jesus. Damn, Silas. Super
I knew
secret
you and I were
undercover
going to get
assassin.
along famously.
Cold.
And they said I was.
All
Let's
right,
see
who
this
wants a
round.
hot guard sandwich?
Safe
Nope.
for outside.
I'll make the sandwiches. Let's not burn down the tavern.
Okay,
So-
okay. Focus in. Plan A.
Huh?
Plan A.
To
Sending spell.
sending
Sending-
spell, it probably will not be possible to get at this time of night.
So
Good to
pretty
know.
All right,
Plan
so look,
B.
we tried to bookstore. Let's go back to the tavern, our tavern. Since everybody's all high and mighty, oh, don't go to the buyer's or tavern. We'll get in trouble. Blah, blah, blah. We'll go back to our
Focus.
tavern, okay? And let's get something else to eat, because I've got some bubble gut going on right now, and it's just ooh, that's not nice. It's bad. The ham, I don't think it was quite cooked right. And let's reconvene in the morning. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come home. And,
Did we?
I mean, maybe he's at home wondering where the hell we're all at.
And we kind of essentially locked him in whatever place of the tavern he's in.
Jesus
Right?
Christ.
We didn't leave a note. We didn't leave a note that says, "Hey, dear Leaf, former ghost man, we're going to go out looking for you. If you find this, don't leave." No, we didn't leave anything like that. Nope. We locked the door and took off with the key.
This group is still learning how to be a pack, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh dear. I can check your bacon bar if you want on the way back if you show me. If you really want to know.
I will accompany you in that.
And then since I got the key to the home, then I'll go on home. So Silas put me
Okay.
down.
Okay, all right,
Well,
Silas. So here's the thing.
Thank you.
When you go to the bar, ask for bacon bourbon, but don't drink all of it. You have to bring some back. Okay. See if they got like a sippy cup or a to-go glass.
Don't you
Bring
think
some
asking
back.
for bacon bourbon's gonna tip him to know that Silas knows you, and then
Oh, please. Probably, but that's besides the point, okay? Look, it's Silas. Look at the size of him.
Didn't we drink all of it like 2 days ago?
2 days to 4
4
days. I
days?
don't. It's
Doesn't it
been a
take like
while. Okay,
20 day to make it?
he could have been holding out.
I feel
If I
like
remember, that's what he said.
maybe maintaining some sort of relationship here might be more valuable at this point than immediately
I'm
tipping
not
them off.
asking you.
But
I'm not asking you to pick him up and throw him through a wall with the big old floppy trunk of yours, okay?
I
All
do
I'm
not have a
asking.
trunk.
I'm not talking to you, little one. I'm talking to the big guy.
Well, then
Right,
why would you
come
talk to
on.
the big guy when I'm the one talking to you? Boy, there's manners. Manners.
I think,
Exactly.
if possible, I will
Portia
attempt
walks
to
away.
bring some in. But
Okay, that's all I want. All right, good, great, grand, sweet.
otherwise, let us find and go.
Wait, Portia, how do we get there?
It's down this way.
It's called the
Jesus
pig
Christ.
flagon. I holler back.
Okay. Thank you. Come on, Silas.
Yes, Feist, let us attempt to reconnoiter this bar.
as we're walking back to the house,
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask Portia if she's seen Faust.
He went to look for a map at one point. He didn't come with us. So I thought he was with you. But you said something about looking for a map.
Mm, Maybe I don't. Maybe what's his name? Leaf went looking for Faust.
That's a valid point.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I don't have anything in my notes about Foss, so I'm sorry.
It's
um, I don't know. He said something about wandering and looking for whatever he looks for. He's crazy about books.
okay. Well, he's not in the bookstore, so
I mean, if he doesn't, if he's not home by morning when we get going, then I say we'll also start searching for him as well.
solid plan.
Okay. Silas and Feist, one of you give me a survival roll to see if you can figure out where the fuck the pig's flagon is, as neither of you have any idea.
Do you want to do it, or should I?
You do it. Although I think we should just ask someone.
Why'd you roll with advantage?
I have advantage
On survival checks?
on survival checks, yeah.
For what? What
give
is
me
this
just-
broken shit?
Cleric fanciness.
No, it's because I have keen smell. I have advantage on wisdom, like perception, survival, and investigation. Because of my trunk.
But if you recall, due to your burn, you do not. In fact, you have disadvantage.
Oh, you forgot about the
Ooh.
negated snoot.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you know what? When I long rested, it reset everything.
And that only if it involves smell. You have advantage on wisdom, perception, wisdom, survival, and intelligence investigation checks that involve smell. This does not. You do not know what this particular bar smells like, since most bars either smell of ale, urine, vomit, or some combination thereof. It's a
Baking bourbon?
general smell, so straight roll, no disadvantage because it's not a smell thing. No advantage because it's not a smell thing. So just a regular roll, regular roll. Shh, shh.
Same
Perfect.
thing.
Still an 18. Meant to be.
Karma!
Meant to be. Okay. You do ask a few people because while you talk slower than most people, you're not a slow person. When you don't know something, you freely admit it and will try to learn more from the people around you. And so after asking a few people about where the I'm starting to talk like it, where the pig's flagon is, you do you do find where it's at. The pig's flagon is very simple. It looks like Porky Pig on a sign with a couple of ales in his hands on either one of them, representing the pig's flagon. For you, it's a kneel down sidestep, as it's not even shoulder for you. You have to shrink your trunk in your head, and then after taking a couple of steps in, kneeling steps, then you can, as the ceiling's only about 12 feet tall at its highest. You being 8, it's a bit for you. And you see behind the bar a more a balding man. He's got a little bit of a beer belly. His upper chest and arms look to be muscular, as though he uses upper body more than anything else. And he's just staring at you like, and then sets down the mug he was cleaning and like reaches under and just lifts up this empty bucket. What can I get for you?
I have heard on the street from a fairly small elf that you have bourbon of unusual taste.
So, as a point of clarification, are you meaning Teagan? Because Teagan's human.
Oh, no, I'm lying through my teeth.
Okay, if you are lying, I need to make a deception roll. I just want to make sure. I just wanted to make sure you didn't misremember. I'm trying to just clarify that. So yeah, go ahead and give me a deception roll.
Oh, God.
Do not know what you're talking about. We've got ale, wine. There's a bit of roast on the spit still. I think there's a couple bowls of mash left.
Dude, your bacon bourbon's like famous.
And then
Right? It's famous. We just wanted to come in and try it, and also we're looking for a friend of ours. So we were hoping to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
I don't see any birds for you to kill.
Metaphorically. I have no stones. Oh, not here anyway. Some here. But they're in my pockets.
And odd that the bacon bourbon is so famous.
Kobolds talk.
I don't recall serving a kobold.
We don't like to be seen. Sometimes we come in looking like something else. I look like a metal creature.
You look no weirder than the company you keep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's very nice.
I don't have any bacon bourbon. There were a few people in here half a 10-day ago who were just straight up jackasses. And let's just say things went south. And I don't have any more. and the owner got wind that I was brewing my own stuff, and I need this job, so that has all stopped.
Oh, so you're at risk of losing your job here?
Yes,
Oh, well, if you lose your job here, I think I know a bar that might really appreciate your skill set.
really?
Yeah,
What bar is that?
it's the big one. It's got kind of a haunted look to it. Apparently blew up a few days ago.
A bar that blew up?
It's not blown up anymore.
A haunted bar that blew up and is no longer blown up.
What was it called, Silas?
That sounds like some magic stuff.
Yeah.
I believe, was it Troll Skull? Perhaps?
Yeah, that one.
When you mention this, he takes the bucket and puts it down and goes, "Get out."
Oh, those are the assholes you met.
Mistakes have been made tonight, for which we apologize. Silas is definitely gonna fish out a silver coin and put it on the bar.
He-
For the trouble.
He doesn't take it. I don't want anything to do with you people. Please just leave.
We'll leave. No worries. Boy, this
Ye-
pack has trouble.
There, I was not expecting this reaction from this bartender. We apologize. Silas does not take the silver coin back, and
Okay.
just kind of attempts to get out without upsetting any tables or damaging any walls.
It's not difficult to do. The bar is set up to where when you walk in, there's no tables in your way. It's directly to the bar because this particular establishment maybe wants to see without anything in the way who's coming in and who's leaving. And so you can see like it's crowded off to your right, but if you're turning around facing the door, it'd be off to your left. It's a bit crowded over there, but that's where there's probably about 7 or 8 tables. There's a few random patrons in here. Neither of you see the construct and or leave. Especially
Leaf
Silas,
from
with
here,
your
like-
height, you would see like Leaf stands out. His hair color is completely different than anybody else around here, and it's just typical colored hair.
Let's go.
Following. And once we're outside, she'll look up at it and say,
If he had that strong of a reaction to us, then there's no way Leaf would have gone in there. He'd have been recognized and probably thrown out immediately.
I suspect that is correct. Thrown
Right.
out, or he would have blown up this bar.
I think that was Portia, not Leaf.
Oh,
Or apparently a
Well.
warhammer. I'm confused whether or not it's the same thing.
I have a great deal to understand more about.
I can't help you much. I am just as new to them as you are, and I'm very confused by their people skills.
My lady works in strange ways.
and as we're walking back, Feist will be very quiet for a little bit of it and then kind of look up at it and go,
Do you do rights for anybody that needs them?
I do rights for anyone who has gone to meet my lady or who desires to meet my lady.
What if the individual was not a follower of your lady in their life?
It doesn't matter who one follows in life. All are devotees of my lady, eventually.
Because I think it'd be nice at some point if you did a ritual for someone for me.
I would be happy to do so.
They're long. They've been in the grave for a while. I haven't really seen them since, and I have things to do first. But when I find who ended them, I would like you to save your spell, your queen. I'll tell you then.
Did they live well?
Oh, yes. Master was very good.
I would be happy to give a right to your master.
And she won't say anything back, but she will fish in her pocket and pull out one of the hagstones and stick it in his pocket. Very high up.
Uh,
And just kind of try and scuttle ahead of him.
What do the rest of you do over at Troll Skull Tavern and Manor?
So, obviously, it's still locked up like it was.
You, as you're walking through, a very familiar green aura still pulses around it.
Okay, so I open up the door and they said something about food, so I do go on into the kitchen to try to scrounge something up to cook.
The only thing up here is whatever's left of the bread, the ham, and the lettuce. You'd have to go into the cellar in order to find other things.
Is that enough for me to make a couple different sandwiches?
It depends on how skilled you are.
I'm gonna try to go ahead and make a couple different sandwiches with what's up here first before I go into the cold ass cellar.
Okay. I mean, you could light the fireplace, stove, oven contraption all in one, and warm up. I mean, there's cast iron skillets that you can warm slices of ham in, and on one shelf there's a bit of lard that you can toast up some of the bread, and you can really make a fancy toasted hot ham. And well, there's no cheese. The cheese would be in the cellar, but hot ham and lettuce without burning the place down.
Okay, I was gonna say I do have proficiency in cook's utensils if that helps
Ooh.
whatsoever. Portia
Hot
can cook.
damn.
Not that she wants anybody to know she can cook, hence
'Kay.
making the sandwiches.
Sure.
But I can cook.
Okay. Easy enough. You make more than enough. Teagan, Adnon, back to your drinking game while the smells of cooked ham and melting lard waft throughout the place. You hear the bubbling of searing meat.
No, I'm just going to sit there and try to think about where Leaf may have wandered off to.
Okay.
After I'm done cooking, I will clean it back up, knowing how Leaf likes to keep everything tidy, just in case he comes home at night while we're all asleep. Plus, I'm still sucking up for blowing up him in the bar. So
Fair enough. By the time you get done making all of these sandwiches, setting them up on the bar for everybody, maybe about 5-ish or so minutes later is when Silas and Feist walk into the door.
what have you done to that bartender?
pissed him off royally.
It had just the. What in the world? There was no. He just seemed like such a nice guy, and
How
there was no door open.
how many of your party have met my lady?
2.
2. Hmm.
No. Pan. Well, I wouldn't know. Out of character. It'd be Panatari,
Oh,
Grodrick,
yes.
Zeradol, Doug.
Dog.
Do I have to pull up my list? Is that it?
Yeah, it's
Oh
Yeah.
Any
4.
my
others left?
god. You
It's
guys
4.
Yeah,
didn't.
the others left for various reasons. They didn't die.
That was out of character because in character I just know of
Doug.
Zeradol and Doug.
Yeah.
Well, there was not Leaf in the bar. There was, however, a lot of anger.
That sounds accurate.
It was also a tight squeeze.
Well, maybe he just needed to process and hopefully he'll come home.
Hope so. We've had a lot of people leave the group.
I don't like that idea, especially with the number of people that seem to have met his lady. I don't like the idea of leaving anyone alone.
It would, I think, be good to find him.
Well, you even said that the temple wouldn't have anybody to do the sending message tonight, so we'd have to wait until morning regardless.
Definitely, but it would, I think, be good to solve.
Right, well, you all have a great time discussing that. Tegan's going to stand up, walk over, grab a sandwich from the bar. He's going to grab a flagon or a jug or a pitcher of water, and he's going to head upstairs to his room.
As you grab a sandwich, I holler, "You're welcome!" And they're not burnt.
It's not hot either. As I just stomp up the stairs.
So the stairs are outside. So you stomp outside, and when you stomp outside and you start going north because it's around the bend, on the crossways, looking at your left, you see Leaf, and behind him, it looks like about 3 wagons that are just being driven by horses and a couple of people, but they seem to just be following him, and Leaf is just walking, appearing your direction.
I start to shake my head, and I'll make a beeline for Leaf as I'm stuffing my mouth full of the sandwich, and say, "Hall, where'd you run off to?"
Master Teagan, I was getting the rest of the supplies for the tavern, of course.
Oh, good, good. Hey, could you do us a grand favor?
Hmm?
Leave us a note next time.
Never left a note before.
Well, you see, you use these little things called your digits, your hands, your fingers, and you write a note. Says, "Hey all, I'll be back tonight going to get supplies," because the rest of the group has been worried sick, and I mean, they've been looking for you, trying to ponder out where you could be. That's just, they're inside. I'm heading to bed. I've got some thinking to do, some reading to do. So it's good to see you, though, man. It's good to see you, man. And that's an awful lot of supplies you got there. Hey, you didn't find any bacon bourbon, did you?
No, sir.
Rats. Okay, well, quest for another day, right? All right, so I'm heading to bed. Cheers to you, and then I will on off to my room.
Thank you for your concern. And as you go off to the outside door on up, he heads down, and then for the rest of you, walking into the tavern is Leaf.
Leaf, you're okay. Where have you been? We've been worried sick. We've been running all over town, and then I had to cook, and Tegan almost burnt the place down. And I'm glad to see you're okay. And word vomit.
You were in my kitchen?
I kept it clean. I know how to. Well, I made
Teagan,
sandwiches.
Teagan was first, to be fair.
Teagan almost burnt down the tavern? You could see, like, his
That's
face starts twitching.
why is that a surprise?
Well, I guess he decided he was hungry, and apparently
It
tried to make hot sandwiches.
it is a surprise. Teagan loves this tavern and
Oh,
the
I don't think he
alcohol
did it
in
on
it.
purpose. I don't think he did it on purpose.
I cleaned up the mess in the kitchen. I promise.
I think it was faulty logic, not faulty intent.
Okay. It's fine. Well, there are supplies. You can either help or, pardon my rudeness, get out the way.
I will help. As I muttered to myself, I guess it's a good thing I didn't go down in the cold cellar.
Silas is going to help, but on the way he's going to ask, have you been to the bar where this bacon bourbon comes from?
No, sir.
I don't recommend it. Just gonna keep moving supplies in.
Okay. So when you get outside, you see 3 wagons full of different things. There's dry goods. There's different grains. There's even different. There's different furniture, better furniture. There's different plates and different decorations. Because while the tavern and everything was restored, it wasn't really decorated. And then he got some coin. And he has spent some of that. So a lot of it goes down into the cellar. After a couple of times, somebody slips and falls on this strange patch of ice, um, breaking a couple of barrels. Huge ruckus happens. A lot of cursing later that's eventually cleaned up. And you hear Leaf placing replacement orders for the things that were damaged and spilt everywhere. And a lot of the furniture is for the upper floors. Since somebody is and has an interest in books, there's different books now filling the library. There's different green plants throughout that are at least close to a window that they could get some light. It's just in general spruced up the place from top to bottom. And when everything is said and done and the wagons are sent back on their way, Leaf, he says, well, we are stocked up and ready to open.
That's awesome. And I go to.
Which is good, since the flyer that Arden put out says we open in 2 days.
So this means that we're ready to open in 2 days now?
We could open tomorrow.
That's awesome. As I start to clean up my cooking mess from the table from earlier, just out of habit, because I made the mess
Okay.
from my cooking, trying not to piss off Leaf, even though I saw his eye twitch when I mentioned I was in his kitchen.
So when you go in there, you notice the kitchen's already clean. Things are put back in different places than when you first walked in there and you saw them in. It appears that Teagan really fucked some shit up, and Leaf has already been in there to fix it.
Well, I tried.
There is a new cabinet in there, and when you open it up, it has this large block of ice in the bottom and some shelves up top. He's got cold storage up top now.
Okay. And then screw that idea. I try to help. So, wait, I guess Feist and Silas, you guys don't have rooms yet, do you?
I
Feist
Wait,
said
Feist.
slept.
Meta
Yeah, they did. Feist
Meta,
did.
I was about to say, yeah, I stayed the night before.
Hmm.
I was gonna say Feist is now on the fourth floor with me. I think.
Sure.
I didn't think. Meta, I don't have in my notes that I was assigned a room, but I might just have missed it.
You have a room.
Oh, cool.
Okay, easy enough.
Adnon asked everybody, yesterday what their intentions are as far as being part of the group and investment into the tavern, and we need to come up with a different name because it doesn't really feel like the Wayward Souls anymore. But part of that was everybody has their own room. And Faust is with Leaf. So Faust was helping Leaf with some bookkeeping. Or that's what Faust says. Leaf just kind of rolls his eyes and mutters under his breath, useless.
Um, can I get a drink and then I head off to bed?
Leaf kind of looks around at all the empty bottles and goes, perhaps water?
Okay, that wasn't okay. I'm not gonna fight with him. I just say okay.
Silas is just gonna head on up to bed.
Okay.
Feist will snag a sandwich and clunk up the stairs.
Okay.
She'll spend time, instead of going to bed, she's going to spend time studying the schematics for a bit before turning in.
All right. Give me another Arcana roll as you're studying the schematics. In Ancient Draconic, which is not so easy to learn. Okay. Um, your 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 eyes just kind of start to spin the different formulas. They're not easy. You you need some kind of chromatic gem,
Damn it.
and you know that there's more components you're gonna need for this, but ancient draconic is not easy to translate because the same word could be 17 different things, and so you're trying to have to piece different bits to figure it out, to understand it. You know one because you know the gem, and kind of using that as a base, you're trying to figure out the rest, but it just escapes you. You know it can be done. You know that this schematic can happen. You could give Leviathan flight. Ugh.
Making progress. Making progress. Eating sandwich.
And then she'll turn in when she gives up.
Okay. Adnan, anything you want to do?
Nope.
No? Okay. Then a long rest is had. Morning of. As you all, I assume, eventually start making your way down to the tavern itself. The, the door and the windows are open, allowing a nice breeze into the tavern itself. And as you get close, you smell something sweet, almost cinnamony.
What is that on the air?
Gonna go find out.
When you go inside, on the bar table itself is a couple of plates full of these large, look like large bread rolls, and they smell very sweet, sugary, cinnamony.
Uh, do we see Leaf?
You don't see him, but you do hear other motion in the kitchen. I mean, he's not exactly quiet. And after a couple of minutes of looking, I'm assuming some of you probably grab one. Leaf does come out with a probably really large clay jar that he just kind of sets on the table, and he says, "Good morrow."
Is this our breakfast you have made?
Yes, Silas, it is.
Oh, my thanks. And then Silas is going to eat like half the table.
Just hum, hum.
He's a big boy.
Feist grabs half and then
They're
like
they are
squiggles
this
out of the
big.
way.
They're not small. They are fairly large. It appears as though he took somebody's size into account. Leaf does grab one, and he sets out a few very nice, tall steel glasses, and he pours from the clay jug. It's a kind of a dark orange color into the glasses, and he says, "Juice, if you would like some." And he takes one of the rolls and a glass of juice, sits down at the bar stool behind the bar, and just nibbles and drinks.
As I grab my juice and my breakfast, I said, "As always, thank you, Leaf." As I go sit at the table and eat.
You are welcome.
It is a kindness what you do, and someday I would like to know why.
Yes, it's his home.
Then why feed us?
I am the bartender of the Troll Skull Tavern, and have been for 300 years.
Silas takes out a gold coin and puts it on the bar.
When you do that, he pulls out a glass, looks like what we would call a fishbowl. Takes the gold coin and puts it in the glass bowl. Thank you.
My thanks to you for your service. And
As
then
I'm
goes right back to eating.
Certainly.
sitting over at my table watching this, going, "Yeah, make the rest of us look like jackasses, why don't you?"
I think you guys do that fine on your own.
As you all are, as you're all having your breaking of the fast and your juice, you hear an explosion outside. The very walls of the tavern shake, and this hot air billows in from the open windows and doors. You hear screaming, "Ah!" And a body, burnt, lands inside the open front door.
Is the body dead?
It is burnt, crispy. You have no idea, live, or dead, or otherwise. And that's where we will end tonight's episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist.